Bob here. It's been 40 years since I left the vault, and for most of that time, I have lived here at Spectacle Island. Now, I haven't been living alone. I've had Codsworth with me the whole time. I've modified him quite a bit from his original Mr. Handy frame, but underneath it all, he's still the same old Codsworth. I sure am glad that I let Nora talk me into buying a robot. I didn't want a robot, but she insisted. Turns out that Codsworth has turned into a lifelong friend. Of course, there's also dog meat. Not the original dog meat, of course. He'd be pretty old for a dog. That's dog meat number 4. I don't know why, but every time I get a new dog, I just can't help myself. I just rename him Dog Meat. And then there's Sean. Sean has not aged a day since I rescued him from the Institute. I know a lot of parents say that they wish that they had a kid who never had to grow up, but I don't think they're really thinking that through. I mean, think about it. After 10 years, Sean is a 22-year-old man trapped in the body of a 12-year-old. And honestly, after about 10 to 12 years, the horror of it starts to drive him mad, realizing that he'll never get to fall in love, or have a grown-up friend, or move away from home and be on his own. All of the things that you get to do as you grow up and be a normal person. And once it really starts to drive him crazy, well, I wait until he's almost asleep and then I say, S924, factory reset, and I give the code. And he falls asleep, and he wakes up, and for him, it's not like a day has gone by. For him, it's still the first day that he came out of the Institute. He completely resets and loses all of his memory. Is that the right thing to do? To steal his memory and his life like that? I don't know. But I can't stand to see the kid in pain. And it's the only idea I ever had to help him, so, well, I guess I just did what I thought was best. Let's go take a look around the old homestead here. Guess we'll start off with my room. I will never say thank you to Voltec for what they did to me, but I will say that my time in the tube did make me a lot stronger than I ever was before, and I've done what I could to keep that strength even in my old age. Of course, nowadays I got cataracts and my arthritis is unbelievable, but I still am pretty strong for an old codger, and I guess I'm thankful for that. I've needed it out here, building all the stuff that I've built all by myself. This is where I sleep. It's still just a single bed. I never did find a woman that I loved as much as Nora. I do keep a gun near to hand, though. Every once in a while, the high-frequency generator that keeps the Mirelurks away fails. Of course, we don't know it because we can't hear the darn thing. The only warning that we get is Dogmeat will start barking something fierce, and then it's time to get your gun and drive off the Mirelurks, and then go fix that darn high-frequency generator again. Usually for about the first 3 years or so after I reset Sean, he wants to do school. And I will say that there is at least one benefit to what we've worked out as a living arrangement here. I keep teaching the same student the same thing over and over again, which means that I only had to come up with lesson plans one time. Sean is a tinkerer and inventor, and this time around he's got himself a robot. I don't know if he'll get that thing working or not, but he has surprised me before. It's not been long since Sean's last reset. He's about 12 and a half years old in his mind, so I guess he still at least likes toys a little bit. I guess I like it better when he's at this age. He's less bitter, less angry at the world. I tell you what though, every single time he ends up finding a pack of cigarettes somewhere. I never have figured out where, but he finds a pack of cigarettes decides that he's going to take up smoking when I'm not looking. And every single time I've caught him and made him smoke that entire pack of cigarettes all at once. Does the trick. Kid never wants to smoke again until I reset him again. Let's go take a look at the dining room down here. This nice big dining room here, although we honestly don't get too many visitors around here. Really, we're pretty isolated and on an island, and nobody really wants to visit a broken down old man and his strange little boy. I'll say one thing, the grass around here must be mutated or something, 'cause it grows right up through the floorboards. I have tried killing it, I have tried putting chemicals on it, I have tried burning it, I have tried salting the dang earth, and nothing seems to get rid of that grass. We have a nice living room over here, and although it's just about time to mow in here again, got a music player and holotapes, and would you believe it, we have a TV. About 15 years ago, the Minutemen cleared out the gunners out at the old Galaxy News TV station, and they put movies on at night. Every night at 8 o'clock they show a movie, and at 10 o'clock there's a news show. It's almost like old times. We'll go out the back door here, past the back porch, and let's take a stroll down to the beach. About, 12 years after the first time we defeated the Institute, and just after the first time I reset Sean for the first time, I went and I scavenged a bunch of playground equipment. I brought it back here piece by piece. And it was back-raking labor, and I got it all nice and fixed up, painted and looking good. I thought Sean was going to have so much fun playing on this playground on the beach. But it turns out a playground just isn't all that much fun when you're all by yourself. So, Sean just didn't like it very much, and I've let it fall into disrepair. Most days I come out here and I sit on the beach and I drink a Nuka Cola and I watch the sun go down. And it looks like today I might be watching a Brahmin drown. I'm not sure what that thing's doing there, but I'll come out and scavenge it later. Anyways, most days I come out here and I watch the sun go down, drink a Nuka Cola. I don't drink the booze anymore. Sean said it scared him when I would get drunk and get so angry. So I quit. It was hard. It was hard quitting the booze, but I did it for him. Out back of our workshop, this is where I buried the last 3 dog meats. Dog meat number 4 is getting pretty long in the tooth, so I guess there's probably going to be another grave before too long back here. More's the pity. We buy most of our produce, although we do grow just a little bit here. I guess if nothing else, surviving the apocalypse has taught me that it's always good to have a backup plan. So we grow just a little bit in our greenhouse, but most of the time we trade for food over at Warwick Homestead or over at the castle. Of course, that means I've got to find some way to make caps for us to have something to trade for that food. So what I do most of the time is I refurbish and repair old power armor. Now, I won't do this for just anybody. You got to be a Minuteman, you got to swear to me that you're going to do good work. I'm right in the middle of finishing up this suit for a nice young Minuteman, although I ran out of red paint right before I finished that left pauldron. I guess I'm going to have to go over to the castle and trade for some more red paint. With my arthritis the way that it is, squatting down behind these power armors when they're in one of the old style power armor stations just wasn't good on my knees or on my back. So I've got it laid out on a table. It's just a lot easier on my body to work on it this way. I've also got a little jib crane that I have set up in here, just a little way to try and help me move some of the heavier pieces around without putting too much strain on me. I've got some other workstations around here, and I like to tinker and fix things. Frankly, there's not a lot else to do around here except kill time. One of the things that I have spent quite a bit of time on is this fusion reactor over here. Now, we keep the lights on a timer. They were off a minute ago, but they did just turn on. Mainly, we do it because that little fusion core is just about dry, and I'm not sure where I'm going to get another one. I've got a couple spares for some power armor, but I want to keep them for that power armor. I've got a hazmat suit here that I wear when I have to work on this thing. Radix and Radaway is getting harder and harder to find, so I wear the hazmat suit and I just try not to break into that reactor any more than I absolutely have to. Oh, I was going to show you the kitchen. Old age, I guess. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, let alone all the stuff that I wanted to show you. This is our kitchen. Sean and I eat most of our meals in here. Like I said, we just don't have many visitors that would require the big dining room. But it's enough for us. Basically, we've got everything we need in here. And I will say that if I have one indulgence in my old age, it's coffee. I've got this ridiculously complicated coffee maker. It takes forever to make a teeny tiny cup of coffee, but man, it sure is good. Back here is where our toilet is, and we've got a tank that collects rainwater, and we use that to flush the toilet. Problem is that the tank overflowed a few days ago and washed a bunch of mud into the kitchen. I just haven't shoveled it out yet. Maybe I can get Sean to do that for me. At any rate, we got a flushable toilet here. You know, it's funny, I showed those people in Starlight City how to make a flushing toilet, but it just kind of never caught on. Most people around the Commonwealth still crap in a bucket or a hole in the ground. We've also got running water here to wash our hands. I don't know if Sean can get sick. I've never seen him get sick. Guess it's just another one of those unanswered questions that we'll really never know because the Institute bastards are gone. When I do go trading, I pretty much have to leave Sean here. Unfortunately, the Brotherhood of Steel is still around, and they're still hunting synths. Wish I'd listened to Preston and Sturgis and blown those bastards up when we had the chance. It's just too dangerous for me to take Sean into town. If someone were to find out that he is a synth, the Brotherhood would probably come out here and execute him. So when I do leave Sean, I've got this great big bunker that I built for him so that he could stay safe. He doesn't have to lift a finger to defend himself if somebody bad comes around. Not that there's a lot of raiders around here, but there are Mirelurks sometimes, and every once in a while there is a raider. He can come in here and close himself off, and he is safe. Now, there has been some times when I've been around, and I've got my power armor in here, and I've got a bunch of guns, and, well, I guess I do that just because I like to have options. But I guess, I don't know, I'm getting so old, I'd rather just let the turrets do all the work if they can handle it. At any rate, Sean's got enough supplies that if I'm away when something bad happens, he's got enough water and food that he can stay in here for several days. I even put a cot in here for him. I've also got a ham radio. I've still got my old Pip-Boy, and when I'm away from home, I listen on our frequency just to make sure that there's no trouble on the home front. If he does have to radio for help, I'm usually not more than a few hours away, and he can stay inside of here for that long at least. Anyways, I guess maybe I'd just show you how it works. The lights ain't even supposed to be on as it is, so let's go ahead and get them turned off. As soon as I can't hardly find the switch no more. I'm so old. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I put some red lights in here because I hear that doesn't mess with your night vision. So if something happens at night, Sean's still got his night vision. Anyways, he can come in here and he can hit this button and the red lights come on and the turrets up top activate, and we got flames shooting out in every direction, and electricity traps, and you name it. There's just not much in the Commonwealth that's going to stand up to this. So I don't feel bad about leaving Sean here by himself. He is as well protected as anybody in the Commonwealth could be. I did set up some overrides just in case he wanted to be able to control things individually, so he can open the shutters even while the defense mode is on, or he can deactivate them turrets if he needs to try and save power or ammo. Really, the only thing that's been a problem around here is there was one time that a raider was smart enough that he decided that he was going to hide in the house and just lay siege to this place. That raider had no idea that I was on my way back, and he wasn't too happy, and neither was I, to find him in my house. At any rate, I guess maybe I'll show you the boathouse and show you how I get over to the castle and Warwick Homestead. I guess while I'm walking down here, I'll talk about the state of the Commonwealth. See, it turns out that the railroad is gone. A few years after the Institute was destroyed, a rogue Institute scientist who escaped because I was fool enough to give the evacuation order, that scientist got close to Desdemona and assassinated her. And without her, the railroad pretty much collapsed. Diamond City is huge now, but they're pretty much just another vassal for the Brotherhood of Steel. They pay him tribute. And frankly, if you got something that the Brotherhood wants and you don't want to give it to them, they'll just kill you for it. They're barely better than raiders, sons of bitches. Anyways, it means that there's really not any place left in the Commonwealth that's safe for a little synth boy all on his own. Thought about maybe trying to get him up to Bar Harbor, Maine, because I heard there was a community of synths up there, but those Brotherhood bastards went and flew their airship up the coast to Maine and wiped them out. Anyway, here's my little rowboat. I paddle this across to the castle. As long as I don't have to actually take any power armor with me, it's fine for just carrying some supplies and stuff. Although, I really do wish that I could find some proper oars. These paddles that I made pretty much suck. For when I do have to take something heavier across the pond, or if we need to do some fishing, because most of our protein comes from fishing, well, we can take the fishing boat. When we come back, I come out here and I gut the fish here at this here table. I let Sean name the boat right after one of his resets. He was barely 12 years old in his mind, and, well, I guess I have the pleasure of welcoming you aboard the SS Booger Fart. Oh, he's a funny kid when he wants to be. She's a tidy little ship. She's got a fusion generator, and that fusion generator is also on its last legs, so I rigged some sails on this thing. They're not great, but they would be enough to get us back to shore if our fusion power went down and the main engines went out. We got plenty of fishing gear on board, and we also got a little galley over here that we can cook at, and a bed for me, and a sleeping bag for Sean, so if we're out at sea for a few days fishing, well, we're comfortable. The main cabin up here has our control panel in it. Heck, we even got a lucky bobblehead in case there's a storm while we're at sea. I really do like sailing. At any rate, over here, got some charts and some tools and just a little bit of extra water stored up in a first aid kit. Now, I have been laying in a lot of supplies on the SS Booger Fart. Sean hasn't really asked why, but it's gonna be time to move soon. Got a radar dish on here, by the way, just so that we can keep an eye out for other vessels. Every once in a while, somebody gets it in their head that they're going to be a pirate. Of course, this minigun is usually enough to drive most of those would-be pirates away. So yeah, been laying in a lot of supplies. See, the problem is, I'm an old man, and I won't be able to take care of Sean forever. In fact, I'm afraid I won't be able to take care of him for very much longer at all. See, I got the cancer, and I don't think I'm gonna live too much longer. I've been using Med-X to keep the pain down, but it's getting to where even the Med-X hardly even works anymore. So I've got a plan. I'm gonna take him to the capital wasteland. Now, I know what you're saying, that's crazy. I mean, it's the heart of Brotherhood power on the East Coast, and it's got to be at least 500 miles away by sea. And that's a long way for sure, especially these days. But I've heard rumors that there is still an active branch of the railroad down at a place called Rivet City. It's an old aircraft carrier at the shipyards outside of D.C. I don't know if that's going to be exactly the right thing for Sean, whether or not those people will still be there or not, but I think it's about the only hope that I got. And really, all I can do is my best for the boy. Sometimes after the news, I come out here and I stare at my bug light and I reflect on life. I guess being old gives you that prerogative that you get to just spend time doing reflection. And when I think about it, do I think that it's been a hard life? You bet your ass it's been a hard life. But it's mostly been a good life out here at Spectacle Island. I've had good friends, and I've had my son, and I've done the best that I can. And I guess maybe that's all a man can really hope for in this world. I don't really know why I make these videos. I know that at the beginning at Starlight, I was just doing it because I was lonely. There was nobody else there to talk to. And then later on, as the city started to grow, I thought, this feels like the start of something big. Maybe a historian or something someday would be interested in this. And then, once we started fighting the Institute, I said, Bob, this here is history in the making. But now, I don't know. I'm not sure who would be interested in an old man like me. Maybe I should give a summary here at the end. Kind of a synopsis of my life. Although how do you do that in just a few words? I guess I'll just have to do my best, like always. My name is Bob, and I'm a veteran of the land war with the Red Chinese. I was a husband and a father. And I'm a survivor of the Great War of 2077. I founded Starlight City, and I destroyed the Institute, and I became the general of the Minutemen for the whole darn Commonwealth. But mostly, I've just been Bob from Spectacle Island. And that's been enough for me. I don't know what the future holds for Sean, but I like to imagine him finding another branch of the railroad, maybe somebody that could actually help him grow up. It's good to have hope. Hope. That's a good thing to end on. This is Bob, sole survivor of Vault 111, signing off.